Hello, this is my audience, and I will start my speech. Hello, have you ever had like someone that drinks in your family, a drunk friend, or someone that always ruins the party for you? It makes it memorable, takes away like a memorable moment because they're drinking. Well, let me tell you about something. Can you picture artificial intelligence, a robot, being able to be, quote unquote, your drunk friend? Um, Today we will look at how alcohol affects society, and it affects society as a whole. According to addiction.org, 93% of people with a substance use disorder do not receive treatment. So what we're looking at here is that wherever you go to the store, whenever you're out in public, you're among like so many people, and a lot of the time these people will have substance use disorder problems, and who knows if they're on their way to drink, who knows if they're compulsively doing things that cause their addiction to progress, and ultimately keeping people safe. You never know when this will become a compromise in our society. So I would like to preview a few of my points. First one is going to be the health systems, the court systems, what we call prevention. Next, we'll look at the artificial intelligence. How is artificial intelligence contributing, or the lack of artificial intelligence? And then we will learn about moderation of alcohol. So there's a great deficit of workers in the healthcare system. As you can see in my slide, I've shown a question mark about alcohol. With the healthcare systems, we don't have anything in accordance except for court-ordered systems. These court-ordered systems are often mandated by judges, where they are sentenced to a substance use prevention program, usually known as a drunk driving program, a DUI program, driving under the influence. These are known as alcohol education programs, and they represent the prevalence of interventions for alcohol impaired driving, and also known as negative outcomes. So negative outcomes may come as car accidents, fatalities. We have very commonly, we have people drinking themselves into comas, as well as wrecking their cars. These are not only just health concerns, they also cause high-risk situations, and it's an asset that is being compromised in society. So now that I've shown you a little bit about the systems, and now I will show you a little bit more about artificial intelligence in drunk driving. So the problem exists. There's not enough artificial intelligence in substance use disorder treatment. In other words, there's a lack of humans working in substance use disorder treatment. Also, there's a lack of humans that have values. See, now in our society, what we look at is what we see all around us. In most of society, we see alcohol being promoted. There's alcohol presented, and a lot of the times we wait until we get old enough to drink alcohol. So it becomes an event that we wait for when we turn 21 years old. See, now you can see that there's a lack of motivation and a lack of motivation that exists in our society, and artificial intelligence can help us figure out what type of motivation we might need. Let's take, for instance, that we're drinking and we ask artificial intelligence, how can I get some cocaine? Well, the artificial intelligence will tell us that often getting cocaine is illegal, and especially in California. But we know that if we were without artificial intelligence and if we were drinking at a bar, if we ask someone where to get cocaine, there's probably a really good chance that they'll come back with some cocaine for us. So now that you can see the cause and why, I will introduce to you my third point, in moderation, of course. See, my solution is moderate drinking. Perform an act that no man is able to perform. If you drink, don't start. This is why. Because according to the Mayo Clinic, heavy drinking carries a high risk, and that is without health concerns. So this means that if you're drinking and you have health concerns, that puts you at a higher risk. We also, in an article of the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, describes moderate alcohol use, 2 drinks for men and 1 drink for women. Now, we don't do that in our society. We learn at a very young age what, as you can see here, a robot already drinking. So I'd urge you to avoid alcohol at all expenses. Alcohol changes your brain. Alcohol, if possible, raise awareness. Let people know. Tell your friends. Your voice matters. In conclusion, prevention systems and artificial intelligence and why to avoid alcohol and have artificial help with it. I have quit drinking alcohol. I am 4 years since I've had a drink or a drop of alcohol. So I would urge you, a call to action would be to cut down alcohol intake. If you can, create community, surfacing topics, and challenge the norm. Now, imagine this is a society that did not have alcohol, a robot of artificial intelligence that is fully knowledgeable of substance use disorder treatment, substance use disorder prevention, laws and the effects, motivational interviewing, and help with the problem we now have in our society. Thank you for being here for my speech.